one of my favorite places in all of New York City, right in Bethesda Arcade, underneath this beautiful Victorian tile lane. Usually there's always an amazing acoustic guitar player. And oh, it's just absolutely romantic and tranquil. Wow. It always touches my heart. Let's explore today Central Park and see all the different little sights, and also see the new statue dedicated to 3 famous women of history. I'm Ariel, and this is Urbanist. Wow. This is Bethesda Terrace. We were underneath, which is called Bethesda Arcade, and we're right in front of the water bearer here in Bethesda Circle. I'm Ariel with Urbanist. Welcome everyone. This guitar player is amazing. He was briefly featured in my video touring Central Park. Check that out. It's on YouTube and on Facebook, called Central Park Secrets. And he's featured playing a cover of the iconic New York City song, Moon River, by Audrey Hepburn, which she sung in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's. I forgot who it was written by, but she sung it. It was absolutely beautiful, and he does a cover of it. So he did it earlier and absolutely fell in love. I wish he would do it again, but he always plays beautiful music. Ironically, after I heard that cover of Moon River, he immediately played Yesterday by the Beatles. So that also ties into another video I did of Central Park. So since I did so many videos of Central Park recently, I want to show you a little bit more of this area. So I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to ask me anything. A lot of people are complimenting me on my haircut. Thank you so much. I haven't had an undercut in quite a while, and I really missed this type of hairstyle, so I'm glad that everyone's enjoying it. Henry Mancini wrote Moon River. I am not surprised. No wonder it sounds so good also on acoustic guitar. All right, let's continue walking around. So we're gonna take our really sweet time because there's a lot of wedding photos being taken. And it's just wonderful seeing the wedding photos, seeing other people take their photos and Instagrams. Thank you everyone. Henry Mancini, I'm not surprised. Of course, is the master himself. Here's the water bearer. Azu, you say I'm smart. Oh, thank you, Azu. I appreciate it. David, New York City keeps that park beautiful. Technically, partially. So New York City actually only gives about 25% of personnel for support of maintaining this gorgeous park that we have here. Zoom in. perfect place for a wedding photo. The majority of the people who work here is privately funded. It's called the Central Park Conservancy, and it's funded via funding. They get funding from the public, from philanthropists, from members. So the Conservancy does a great job in keeping this park up. Do I prefer Prospect Park? I like Central Park, to be honest. Prospect Park is gorgeous, and I love it, especially when hanging out with friends. But there's some majesty about Central Park. I absolutely love it. You have great knowledge. Am I a full-time tour guide? No, I'm not. I'm a full-time filmmaker. I make videos for a living, including here, Urbanist, on YouTube and Facebook. And also I make films for corporations, for brands, and for music videos. I am a licensed tour guide. I do, from time to time, if you catch me at the right time, I do offer private custom tours, which a few urbanists have taken. And I've always had a delightful smile on their faces afterwards, so it's been always a pleasure giving private tours. So if you want to catch me at the right time, you can go urbanist.live/tours, and if I'm in New York City, you can potentially book me for a 2 or 3 hour tour. Majesty is the perfect word. It really is. So again, as I mentioned in all my other videos, this is a wandering, so ditch the map, ditch the GPS. Don't try to figure out exactly where I'm walking. Let's just embrace the atmosphere, take it all in visually, through audio, through the conversation we all have. There's many other great channels out there where you can really pay attention to the addresses, or you can watch my shorter videos that are edited where you can see all the addresses mentioned. But for today on this live video, we're just wandering around, take our sweet time. We might linger in places, we might go faster in other places. That's the beauty of wandering around. Hello 4K Wanderer. Hello Jackie. Hello Stephanie. Hello. Do what you love and you'll never work a day of your life. Stephanie, I agree. You know, I am getting to a point right now on YouTube, which I'm really thankful for, and on Facebook through patrons, that I'm able to do Urbanist almost full time. I'm getting closer. Maybe in 2 or 3 more months I can get to that point. So it's a very exciting time for me personally, as someone who loves to explore cities, that I'm able to very soon be able to support traveling to other cities, so I can show you more cities, more different cities more often. So I really do appreciate everyone popping in. These videos are sponsored by you. I don't accept that many sponsorships currently, because I want to keep these videos as free flowing and spontaneous as possible. So these wanderings are sponsored by all the patrons, supporters, star senders, super chatters, and PayPalers. Isn't the same person who created Central Park created Prospect Park? Yes, he did. They did. Elijah, great question. The two people who created, the two main architects of this beautiful park, is Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux. Americans typically say Vaux. So they both designed Central Park. Calvert Vaux was responsible for designing a lot of the structures. So all these structures that you see here, including Bethesda Terrace and Circle and Arcade. We have the Loeb Boathouse down there as well. And then a little bit further down, we have Belvedere Castle. They were all responsible from Calvert Vaux. And Frederick Law Olmsted was the main designer when it came to actual layout of Central Park. All these winding pathways, all the trees and flora that he designed. And let me step back. And these are some Canadian geese. The cloisters are a part of the Met. Yes, they are. They are part of the Met Museum. And I will potentially go again. Stay tuned. Will you do any tour in New Jersey? I did, Sandy, just last week. Hoboken, and stay tuned. Tomorrow I'm going back to New Jersey. 1 p.m. I'll be somewhere in New Jersey. It'll be fun, one way or the other. And let's see if we can catch a turtle. Or I mean, show a turtle, not catch it. Right there. Here's the turtle. He has a red streak around his head. So which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is that one? Let me know in the comments. Sometimes you'll see different colors, ironically. So you'll literally see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles here in terms of color coding. Here's another one. Look, this guy. This guy has more of a bluish tint. Who's this guy? Nice graffiti in Bushwick. Oh yeah, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, 4K Wanderer. Let me know. I haven't had the chance yet to check out your videos. I will soon. But let me know where you're based, 4K Wanderer. I had a goose chase me once. Yes, that's why I was a little bit cautious with the goose over here. Is it a painted turtle? No, they're not painted. For some reason, they have different kind of like lines on their face. I'm not sure. I'm not so good at animals and the terminology. So if anyone knows the terminology, but they have this kind of streak on their faces, and they tend to be different colors for this type of turtle. What's the weather? It is sweater weather right now. It's about 65 degrees, 66 degrees. Hello, Phyllis. You're in Toronto. Oh, cool, 4K Wanderer. Can't wait to visit Toronto. Maybe we'll collaborate whenever I go to Toronto or whenever you come to New York City. Hey, Daisy. Nice to see you here. Hannah, Raphael, you got it right. Raphael is the red one. And the blue one, let me know who he is. They get honorary. Yes, they do. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell, but it seems like they have no children with them. They tend to get very territorial if they're right by children. So if you see a mother goose with her little geese, do not get too close because she'll feel threatened and then she might attack you. Otherwise, I think you're okay. That's why a lot of people are hanging around here and they're fine. It's perfect 70 degrees. Yeah, 70 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's continue walking around. Here's where they have boats, but unfortunately no boats here. Can I do a video about sky bridges? Phyllis, yes, maybe. You stay tuned, maybe. Here's a pigeon. He's enjoying his food. ¿El agua del lago se renueva a algún arroyo o es siempre la misma? So, Ruben asks, is the water renewed or is it always the same? La agua está renovada porque mucho del sistema de agua, aquí todo lo que tú ves de agua está conectado al sistema de agua hecho por hombres, de la ciudad. Entonces, está siempre renovada. Aquí yo creo que hay un drenaje, se baja y después lo llenan otra vez para atrás. La misma cosa con este lago. So in English, yes, all the water that you see here in Central Park is connected to the New York City water system, and thus it is drained and renewed. I'm not 100% sure about the lake per se, but almost every other water system is connected. Every body of water, any like stream, creek, even the waterfall in North Central Park is all connected to the water system. There are turtles called Easter painted turtles that have different colors on their neck. Not sure if they're that. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're that, but thank you for letting us know, Nicole. If anyone knows exactly what turtles are the ones in Central Park, let me know. Right here in the distance, we see the views of Billionaires Row. The skinniest skyscraper ever built in all of humanity is right here, or as far as we know. Hello, Laureen. Aloha. Funniest Sex in the City scene, Jane. Are you asking a question or are you saying that it took place here in Central Park? I'm trying to remember. I recently, right before the pandemic hit, I spent like 2 months, or even less. I literally watched every single episode of Sex and the City. I just got really obsessed with it. If you're a fan of New York, as obviously many of you are because you're watching my show, watch Sex and the City. You'll enjoy it. Here's a fashion shoot photo. So it is Fashion Week, so we might see some fashion shoots. They happen all year round, but you might see some fashion shoots. Big and Carrie fell by the boathouse. Yes, they did. Yes, Jane. Oh, I'm so glad you remember that. Yeah, I remember that episode. So a fashion shoot happening here. They're called snapping turtles, says Rodney. Oh, thank you. And Jane says best show ever. All right, let's see. This is how it looks below. So today we're wandering around. We have no specific direction, so feel free to ask me to point the camera if you want to see something specific. Leanne, oh, my purse. Oh yeah, you're referring to the Sex and the City episode. Waves from San Francisco. And someone said that the air quality index is going back to normal on the West Coast. That is good to hear. Jamie says, goose don't bite. It's like a clamp. I clamp feel. I feed them all the time on the other pond. And they're heavy, around 13 to 15 pounds. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting us all know. Elisa, no worries. Good night. Thank you so much for saying hi. I don't think they have sharp teeth, but the snapping and noise is alarming. Hello, Natalia. Bienvenidos. Ojalá todo está bien en Argentina. What's your favorite thing to do in Central Park, says Sandy. Here, by far. Going where we started the video, going to Bethesda Arcade, which is right underneath the terrace, is just gorgeous. It's my favorite thing. Let me know, what's your favorite thing to do in Central Park for everyone watching? Sharon, love watching your videos from Australia. Would love to be back there in person. Oh, I hope you can visit soon. José, gracias por mirando de Chile. Es feriado y está el Día de Independencia de París. Oh, qué bien. Qué bien que es un día feriado. Ojalá lo está disfrutando. So it seems like some light does filter through down to the arcade. This is the first time I really noticed this. I love the terrace as well. Me too. This is the gorgeous place. Look at this. Yes, we're going to see the women's statue. Greetings, Manny Explorers, another fellow YouTuber. I have many YouTubers starting to follow me. Welcome. Not yet, Veronica. We're going to see it soon. The new statue of the women pioneers. Hello, Persevere. Hello, Felix. Hello, CRH. Nice to see you again. What camera am I using? Asked DZHA. I'm using the iPhone Pro 11 Max. Avoid Central Park's rats. I don't know. After seeing Ratatouille, I'm not too afraid of rats, personally. Unless if it's the Black Plague. I haven't heard of Black Plague in a while. Ooh, a man is playing violin. Tratando de superar la pandemia en Argentina, que afecta a todo el mundo. Natalie says that they're trying to get through the pandemic over there in Argentina. Sí, ojalá se mejora la cosa. Yo creo que ya Argentina va en verano, so yo creo que va a ser mejor para Argentina. How big is Central Park? 845 acres large. For context, Central Park is bigger than the island, than the country of Monaco. Bigger than the country of Monaco in Europe, right below France. It's a little bit smaller than Vatican City, so that's how big it is. Laura, estuve en Central Park, pero no llegué a esta parte. Es hermoso, Ariel. Saludos del Mar de Plata. Oh, bienvenidos, Laura. ¿Qué hace por mirando? It's bigger in Prospect Park. Yes, almost twice as big. Do you shave also? Says Gail. Yes, I do shave. That's a strange question. Why are you curious? Feel free to ask me anything about New York as we're walking around. I love the places in the park where you don't see any buildings, like being in the country. Yes, Ruben. Excelente observación. The best place to have that experience where you feel like truly lost in Central Park with no buildings in sight is this area right here called the Rambles. Jose, yep, this is bigger than Monaco. Literally bigger than the country of Monaco. Central Park is literally bigger than the real country. Of course, Monaco, you know, many people would consider a city-state. Persevere is hard to believe, but being a local New Yorker, do you ever get bored? So I must say, I've been living here my entire life, and when I started Urbanist 4 years ago, I got obsessed with New York. So it took me years to truly experience New York to its very fullest. And once I did, as you can see on my Facebook videos, I covered every single corner of New York City, literally been everywhere. And to many of my friends who live in New York City who don't explore too much, you know, they're working or they have a family or whatever, and they might get bored of the city, I would say, you know, you're kind of not really looking. So it's hard to get bored in the city. However, since now I am professionally looking around the city, I really like my income, my show, my art, all combined into one, is shown people all around the world the city of New York and all of its tiny little details. I'm already kind of running out of things. So I'm getting a little bit bored out of it, if I have to be 100% honest. It's a gorgeous place and there's always constantly things to do. And I appreciate more and more new things, but I am looking to go to other places. Let me know what you think. So here, there's a little hidden sculpture. So right here we see a textbook, we see an owl, but let's go around. And here we have a witch with her jack-o'-lantern. I'm a New Yorker all my life, says Edwin. Oh, cool. So here is a witch. When it was designed by the original sculptor, he ended up making a sort of reference / snide comment towards the newest immigrants when this was carved. This was the late 1860s. And those immigrants were Irish. So the Irish brought Halloween to New York City. Halloween, of course, was a concept that did exist in the US before the Irish, but the concept of trick-or-treating, going in a costume, and even witches with pointy hats and jack-o'-lanterns, which here in the US were pumpkins because they changed because we didn't have that many turnips. So the original jack-o'-lanterns were made out of turnips. The Irish were the ones who brought us our modern version of Halloween. And thus, the sculptor was making a comment on the Irish. However, some people think he was actually making fun of them. Maybe it was a little bit of both. Maybe he was both appreciating the Irish and also making fun of them a little bit. Who knows? It's Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, happy Rosh Hashanah for everyone who celebrates it. I think it's exciting for you to see the viewers' excitement of seeing New York City for the first time. It is. I mean, that's what keeps me going, to be honest. yeah, that's what keeps me going. So I get excited just by knowing that people get excited by these tiny little things. That's why in these videos, I only cover really stuff that I like. So you won't see videos of me covering stuff just because I think it's popular or just because I think it'll get views. I never rolled that way. Yeah, I might have made my growth on YouTube or Facebook slower, but part of what I do, especially since it's a live video, if you don't see some type of look of excitement on my face, I'm not doing my job right. And I think that's why I only personally cover things I like. And today was just a beautiful day to stroll through Central Park, and I want to see that new women's statue. And I know many of you feel the same way, so let's go. Yeah, I reached 11K. Persevere. Every time I hear drums like this, I think about the movie Birdman. So, if you know the movie Birdman, highly recommend watching it. It takes place in New York City. It takes place in the theater district in Broadway. And the entire soundtrack is made by a drummer, very similar to the street drumming that you hear all around New York City. And I think they picked it specifically for that reason. So I hear that and think about Birdman. I won't linger the camera there too long because I think unfortunately some I've had drummers sometimes not wanting to show them on camera. This is the amphitheater. Unfortunately, it's being repaired. Or fortunately, it's about time it gets repaired actually. However, if you want to see the music video by John Lennon, Mind Games, he does a little dance here on the amphitheater. 4K Wanderer, you like my approach to live streaming. I'm so glad. And what was up with the copyright claim from UMG? It was I walked into a coffee shop in Hoboken and it got blocked. The music publisher decided to block the entire video. Luckily, that Hoboken video, YouTube gave me an option to just cut those 2 minutes from the video, and it worked. And the video's back up without the song. So, yeah, that's why. I'll try to get to all your questions. Perfect for jogging, says CRH. Yes, it is. Seth, I love the Birdman soundtrack. Goes so well with walking in the city. It really does. Donald also says Birdman's great. You know, walking here right now, kind of it's getting fall. I am now actually getting in the mood to see Birdman again. So that's why I might see later tonight. Someone earlier asked, fall in New York, are the trees changing color? Not quite yet. So I'll show you what's happening here. Elijah, I disagree. I loved Hoboken. Check out my video. It was a really fun time. So the leaves are still green. However, if you're coming here during fall, stay attention to the weather report. You probably won't get this on the normal weather report in the news or in the radio, if you still use radio, or like superficially on Google or on Apple. You have to download a weather app. I use Weather Underground. And the reason you have to pay attention is because you only have about 1 week window to have perfect timing where all the leaves are very golden reds and yellows, and they're all on the floor. And the best place in all of New York City to see that beautiful display of autumn fallen leaves is here in the Central Park Mall. Now, this is not a mall in the sense of shopping. We're not doing any shopping here. But this is a mall in the sense that it's the straight path, and it's the only straight path in all of Central Park. So this is my #1 recommendation for seeing fallen leaves during autumn. Now, I forgot to mention, but right down there, we passed the hot dog stand. Let me zoom in. Do shopping with hot dogs, says CRH, yeah. That hot dog stand we see there in the distance, we passed by before the drummer, is one of the most expensive hot dog stands in all of the city. As of right before the pandemic, the man who owns that hot dog stand was paying a permit of $250,000 per year. Yep, $250,000 per year. And he barely makes a profit. Enough to sustain, a living. But they don't make a huge profit. That goes to show how competitive hot dog stands are in New York City. The other very expensive hot dog stand in New York City is right in front of the Met. Hello, Shelley from Scotland. Welcome. New York City trees doesn't follow seasons directly. No, they don't. That's why you have to pay attention. Here's NYPD. Oh, we're passing through. It's kind of brownish for some leaves. Yeah. Judith, hello. How about Central Park during the winter? Go to Facebook. Great question, Benjamin. Go to Facebook, search Urbanist, Central Park snow, and you'll see a magical wandering that I did in a blizzard about 4 years ago. It was right after I started Urbanist. It's probably one of the most magical broadcasts I've ever done. I was freezing. I was covered in snow. I had a much longer beard back then, and my entire beard was basically frozen. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. Alicia, I'm filming with the iPhone Pro 11 Max. Super duper, to the extreme, wonder phone. You know what, Ariel, says Cynthia, these videos are just like walking through with you, and I get how people are behaving as far as masks and distancing. As I live in New York City, helps me on a few levels. I'm so glad. I hope it gives you a little bit more confidence to start coming out if you're able, or at least in your neighborhood. Ariel, those street artists need to pay to be here? Good question, Julio. I would say they had to get a permit. Whether they pay for the permit, I don't know. If anyone knows those details, let me know. But it is a permit. If it weren't a permit, then you would see hundreds more. So that's what happens. And I usually don't linger the camera on them either because they don't like being filmed too. And I would say be wary sometimes with, maybe not so much here, but when you go to other parks or Times Square, they'll say $5 for drawing you, but they don't mention that in order to save the drawing, you have to put it in like in a cardboard box or a cardboard frame, and that costs $15 or more, $20, $25. Jackie says, you were freezing, suffering for your art like true artists. Yep. Where is this statue? I haven't seen it yet. Oh, I think we're coming across it soon. Good job on your John Lennon video. Thank you so much, Elaine. Not too good. I lost my dog a week ago, says Stephanie. Oh no, Stephanie. My heart goes out to you. Everyone send some good vibes to Stephanie, your condolences or hearts, some sort of hearts to Stephanie. May she go through this time knowing that other people out there, strangers on the internet, really care for her, at least in the way where we're able to send hearts. So send some hearts to Stephanie. I hope my condolences for losing your dog. I know that could be very hard. I lost my childhood dog that I grew up with from an early age of since I was, when I was born. And he was with me until about when I was like 10 years old. And it was such a terrible loss. I haven't owned a dog since. And his name was Champy. And I used to play with him. I used to kind of go on long walks with him. And I do miss him even to this day. So yeah. Cynthia says, but if you film artists, it's also advertising for them. Yeah, New Yorkers sometimes are a little bit weird. It depends on the city. Natasha from Greece, welcome. Do you know when the flight starts for tourists? I don't know that information. I wish I did. Is Stephanie on YouTube? Yes, Stephanie is on YouTube. I'll relay all the comments that people give her on Facebook. So Cynthia says, sorry for your loss, Stephanie. Anna says, I know how you feel. My condolences. Pets are family, says Logan. Julio, my condolences, says. So here we're coming across the first statue in Central Park that features real-life historic women. There's 23 historical figures depicted in Central Park before just a month ago. All of them were men. The only women depicted here in Central Park were fictional, like the water bearer that we see in Bethesda, and also Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, that's in front of the theater. However, this statue of 3 suffragettes, suffragettes means women who fought for and supported and helped the movement of women's rights and women's right to vote. This is the very first statue of real historic women here in Central Park. Tara says, thank you for the walk through the park. I miss home. Great educational info. Sorry about the someone who lost a pet, says Tara. Terrace says, hi from Sydney. I'm in New York. I'm a New York obsessed and a regular visitor. This stroll is making my morning. What time is it there? It's about like 4:30, maybe 5. If anyone could let me know what time it is. I haven't been to the Balto statue. Yeah, I've been before on my Facebook Live videos. And I do show it on the YouTube video. Search on YouTube, it's on my videos tab. Go to Exploring Central Park Secrets, and you'll find that statue. This statue was erected just a month ago. So let's read the headline as I point the camera here. And it says, Women's Rights Pioneers. The 3 women depicted are Sojourner Truth, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. The Monumental Women is a volunteer nonprofit organization formed in 2014 to create Women's Rights Pioneers monument. The sculpture tableau is the first Central Park to depict real women after securing a prominent location on the park's famed literary walkway back in 2017. Monumental Women raised $1.5 million in private funding to commission and endow the sculpture. Designed by nationally recognized sculptor Meredith Bergman, the prolonged effort by women to gain the right to vote is considered the largest nonviolent revolution in the history of the nation, finally enfranchising more than half of the population of the United States. This monument is an instant history lesson, an examination of how the social changes comes about. As it teaches us about the past, we can learn to do a better job of fighting for equality and justice in the future. The monument challenges municipalities all across the nation and this world to honor all the people who made these cities great by including tributes to women and people of color in their public spaces. But most of all, it's about advancing history, completing the journeys toward justice and the valiant women who came before us and achieving the equality that they were denied. The timing of the arrival of this monument coincided the National Women's Suffrage Centennial of the ratification of the 19th Amendment and the 200th anniversary of the birth of Susan B. Anthony right there in the middle. Both celebrated in 2020, and there's way more information. You can check out the website here, monumentalwomen.org. And do you guys want me to read the sculpture part? Let me know in the comments. I heard of Susan B. Anthony, but I never heard of the two other women. Yes, Susan B. Anthony is very popular in the textbooks. Sojourner Truth has been more popular recently. I don't know too much about Elizabeth Staton. Great tour, says CRH. My pleasure. Yes, read. Okay, people are asking for reading. The sculptor is Meredith Bergman. Bergman uses some of the stylistic vocabulary of the existing statuary nearby in Literary Walk. So we see a few of them all around us. So let me zoom in. So this is Literary Walk. A lot of these statues were built at the very inception of Central Park. Shakespeare we'll see a little bit later. In her design, as throughout the park, recognizable bronze figures sit and stand on a granite pedestal with inscriptions. But within the structure, the design departs from the other monuments in a way that are appropriate to the entry of women into a sphere from which they were previously excluded. 3 figures share a pedestal and relate to each other. They are an allegory of sisterhood, cooperation, and activism. But they are not just an allegory, they're sculptures of the women who they were. In the monument, Bergman shows Anthony, Staton, and Truth working together to advance their fight for equality, justice, and women's rights. They are depicted as equals, working together at the table, with each taken on an essential element of activism. Sojourner Truth is speaking, Susan B. Anthony is organizing, and Elizabeth Cady Staton is writing. The Women's Rights Pioneer Monument honors these 3 New York women who dedicated their lives to women's rights and to women winning the franchise, though none of them lived long enough to see it happen. More information right over here. Beautiful. I love that it celebrates women's rights and diversity. Yes, because we have a person of color and we have 2 other famous women. Person of color is what's used in politically correct language in America. I know it's different in other nations. The detail's outstanding. Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit more. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sculpture, yeah. You can see the stars or the sun on her dress. And there's a purse or a satchel here in the back that has pamphlets about the suffrage movement. Bronze, Stephanie. So copper, no, it won't turn green. It's bronze. Tremenda estatua, says JWS. Beautiful sculpture, Judith. Yes, it's a beautiful sculpture. I don't know why women had to go through so much stress to have rights. Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of weird things in society. And if history is any indicator, we sometimes had to learn things the hard way. And sometimes we learn things pretty easily and just implemented them. So, yeah. Janice, thank you so much for the stars. One purse that no one can steal in the park, says Jackie. Indeed, Jackie. Abraham Lincoln statue. I'm not sure if there's one in Central Park. There's a few in New York City. Let me know if there's one in Central Park. I don't know off the top of my head. But there's 2 famous statues here, if you're a fan of literature, specifically Irish and Scottish literature. So there's many other amazing statues, more of real historic women popping up. And also of another famous woman, hopefully it'll come soon, in around Christopher Street, I think will be popping up, of Marsha P. Johnson, who was one of the women who was on the forefront of the Stonewall riots. So hopefully that'll come soon. A lot of people think that the statue in front already depicts her, but I think they're building one specifically about her. So here's two famous writers, which I've actually done a video of before. But the beautiful thing about these videos is, you know, it's fun to repeat these stories. So let me tell you again. Of course, you can see my other videos if you want more detail. This is Walter Scott. And Walter Scott is basically the man who was responsible for a modern romantic vision of Scotland. He wrote about Scotland and its beautiful passages and vistas on the Highlands. And he also wrote about the honorable Highlanders who fought for their freedom. As so he says. And thus we got our modern romantic vision of Scotland. So whenever you think about Scotland and whenever you think about those kilted men with the plaid patterns, this is the man responsible for its popularization. Andrew, yes, sometimes I do. If you catch me at the right time, I do offer private tours customized to your tastes. Go urbanist.live/tours. Sir Walter Scott. And there's a lot of... Cynthia, you got a haircut. Yes, I did get a haircut, Cynthia. And here, we talked about Scotland, but if you want to think about the modern romantic vision of the Irish poet, then you have to go to Robert Burns. He has some great poetry. He uses some kind of old style Irish terminology, Gaelic. So he was a wonderful poet, kind of revitalized Irish pride, especially in a moment in history where there was a lot of tension in the island, especially amongst the British. Same thing with Walter Scott. It was kind of the opposite, or the other side. It was during a time of history where there was a lot of tension between Scots and English. Robert Burns. Do they have a quote here? I wish they did. Though apparently I think he knew Walter Scott. Yeah, he knew Walter Scott. So he wrote something to Walter Scott. Says, Walter Scott's greeting to Robert Burns, whose first lines read, "We greet you, Rabbi, here tonight, beneath these stars so pure and bright. We greet you, poet, come at last, with Will Shakespeare and me your lot to cast." Oh, I love that. And then there's a reply, and it says, "But what to them sculptors' art, his funeral columns, wreath and urns, were they not graven on the heart the name of Robert Burns?" Veronica, welcome. Lori, thank you so much for the stars. Where would you do a meetup before winter? It'll be a great chance to meet people. Mel, hello, thank you so much for the stars. These statues, their statues would be, there should be a statue of the great Oscar Wilde. Yeah, maybe. I hope there's at least one in Ireland. He is Irish, right? Please remind me if he's Irish, Oscar Wilde. But yeah, I hope he is. Rosalind, you're watching from Burns country. Oh, cool. No, LOL, just smart. Enjoying the tour? Ariel's doing tours as we speak. Yes, I am doing tours, and Oscar Wilde was Irish. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, I'm doing tours as we speak. So I have a bunch of tours for free online, right? If you want to do a tour with me in person, sometimes I'm available if I'm in the city, and if the timing is right, then I can offer you a private tour. I've had a few awesome urbanists who've come, done tours with me privately. I've done one for two fellow urbanists who really loved fashion, and we explored all the fashion history of New York City through the Garment District. And the tour, I loved doing the tour so much for them, and they loved it as well, that it ended up inspiring me to do the fashion documentary. So I will have to give a big thanks to them for inspiring me, for hiring me to do the tour that inspired me to do a documentary on my own. And I also did a tour for another wonderful person of the best rooftops in New York City and how to where to take amazing photos from all these different rooftops, which I featured him on a live video before. So yeah, done a few tours. And I am a licensed tour guide. So yeah, you can find me at urbanist.live/tours. Happy Chick says, nice haircut. Thank you so much. Here is Christopher Columbus. But watch out, because he's not a popular figure right now, Christopher Columbus. No, the Boy Scout story. Oh, what are you referring to? Cristobal Colon. Oh, yes. However, Christopher Columbus never stepped foot on continental U.S. The only place he stepped foot in that is part of the U.S. is Puerto Rico. Don't forget, I ventured into the dark woods by myself in Sullivan County, New York, says CRH. Oh, you're very brave, CRH, especially out in the country. Mel, thank you so much for the stars. Justine, just tuning in, love the haircut. Oh, thank you. So here, there's some trees donated after people. So it says a London plane endowed in the memory of Maria M. Flieger, founder of Spring Flowers. English oak endowed by Dublinin family in honor of Mikhail Dublinin, and many others. American elms, maples, many others. Ariel has great hair. Oh, thank you so much, Janice. I appreciate all the compliments. Do you think they should be small marijuana farms in Central Park? Elijah, no, I don't think this is quite the place for that. It could be somewhere else. And New York weather is probably not so conducive. And the U.S. Virgin, it's like a walk of fame. It is. Here, actually let everyone guess who he is. Let me know in the comments. Who do you think this man is? Who do you think this man is? And let me know a quote from one of his works. I would love to read some Shakespeare for all of you, so let me know a good quote from his works. T. Jeffs. No. Oh, Thomas Jefferson. No, ND. Thomas Jefferson had hair all the way till his dying day. So this man wasn't so lucky. Galileo. Good guess. I think Galileo also had hair until his dying day. Yes, Audio Slave and Kay got it correct. It is William Shakespeare himself. W. Shakes himself. To be an urbanist or not to be an urbanist, that is the question. Great quote, Donald, from the Urbanist Hamlet. Shakespeare says, Rosalind, yes, thank you for all you do and share your adventures. We don't need to fly anywhere. Indeed you don't. You can enjoy the world from the comfort of your own phone. The Urbanist has a very urban haircut, says Deanna. Indeed I do. Nowhere near Will Shakespeare over here. He has a different style going on. He has the opposite. So I have the hair short on my sides, and good old Will Shakespeare is doing a reverse undercut. He has long hair on the sides and no hair on top. So me and him are kind of beautiful opposites. Let me know your favorite Shakespeare quotes. And this is designed by one of the top sculptors in all of America. You'll see this name everywhere. John Quincy Adams Ward. John Quincy Adams Ward, 1870. Except yours is by choice. His is called Going Bald, says Stephanie. Yeah, indeed, Stephanie, indeed. To be or not to be? Literary Row. Yes, Janice, we're in Literary Row. William Shakespeare is born on your birthday. Ooh, amazing, Elaine. Ah, Shakespeare himself. Oh, indeed. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. I love that line. That's from Mark Antony or Julius Caesar? I think it was from Julius Caesar or Mark Antony. One of those two. Thank you for all you do. Don't need to fly anywhere. Oh, I'm so glad. The Urbanist has a very urban haircut. When I come home for a visit, I have to hire you for a tour. I've been to New York City all my life and never knew all these things. Indeed you do, yeah. And when you do hire me for a tour, that fee that I charge goes to supporting Urbanists. So if you want to support Urbanists in a different way, you can also do it by hiring me for a tour. Shakespeare has what is called the old man's haircut. Indeed he does. Indeed he does. So that was the Central Park Mall. Let's walk and see one gorgeous view from a bridge, but let's not get run over by the hordes of bicyclists that are roaming or roving the streets of Central Park. There's so many. We found our spot. Boom. Here we go. You've been to Shakespeare's house. I can't wait to go to Shakespeare house. I can't wait to go to Oxford. I mentioned this many times, but you will be seeing Urbanist, the show, myself, soon all around England and the UK and hopefully Ireland as well. So you'll be seeing me all around the British Isles at some point soon. Hopefully once the pandemic comes to an end and we can all travel again. You'll be seeing these tours, but roaming the streets of London, Oxford, Glastonbury, Inverness, Glasgow, Cork, Dublin, Belfast, etc., etc. Maybe even the Highlands if I get service up there. So if you enjoy these videos and want to see this show continue off to other foreign territories, beautiful roving landscapes, tiny winding streets of London, press that like button. Come to Blackpool. Maybe, yeah, Blackpool has like a Eiffel Tower, right? Or some other famous building. Has like a weird building that's very similar to another one. Let's have 100 likes. Ooh, thank you everyone for. Amy, how about a walk? Yeah, join me for a walk, Amy and Scott. Glencoe, yes, Glencoe. Let me know in the comments, what places should I consider in the British Isles? Cardiff is another one, so British Isles is England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland, and there's islands of Jersey and Guernsey. So let me know, where should I go in the British Isles? Well, I do tours to your followers who live abroad. Yeah, anyone can hire me for a tour. And if you catch me, if you message me while I'm in another city, you can hire me to do a tour of that city as well. So if we happen to be at the same time in London or other cities like Rome or Paris, then you can feel free to reach out to me. And if it works, then you can potentially hire me to do a tour of that city as well for you. Customized. Elaine, thank you so much for the stars. Do you notice the grass is not cut? It is, John, maybe some places, but the grass is cut. Of course, they're not maintaining it full force because there's not that much tourism. So I don't think it'll be so worth doing crazy maintenance. You also have to consider that they do maintain on cycles and they might be preparing for the winter. I don't know too much about the specifics of horticulture, but that is my impression. All right, everyone. Okay, everyone. Brace yourselves. Really. Sit down. Grab a good cup of wine or a tea or espresso if it's early in the morning for you, because you're about to see one of the most beautiful views in all Central Park. This area is gorgeous. And are there a lot of tourists around? Barely any, Melissa. There's tourists from Queens and New Jersey. Barely any other tourists. Persevere, fresh cut. Yes, I do have a... Cynthia's about to make a coffee. Oh, cool. All right, everyone, cue the music. Which music should we cue? It has to be an epic, symphonic song. Which theme song should we play for this reveal? You're braced? Everyone's braced? All right, good. Bum bum ba da 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 dum bum ba da 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 dum. New York, New York. Carl, Jackie, Stephanie. That is a very unique suggestion. Money. That's a very unique suggestion. And a beautiful saxophone player playing there in the distance. Thelma, you'll be a tourist there in 2 weeks. Oh, cool. I hope you enjoy it. Indiana Jones. Glass of tequila for Elijah. Oh, I'm glad, Elijah. You do you. Final countdown by Europe, says Kelly. Rhapsody in Blue. Rhapsody in Blue is a good suggestion, John. I would say yes to that. New York State of Mind by Billy Joel. I've heard that before Central Park was designed, there were an Indian tribe that used to live in this area. Yes, Benjamin, it was the Lenape. The Lenape used to live here. And let me take a seat. Am I close to the skating park rink? Yes, I am. So join me for a seat. I'm gonna drink some water, enjoy the views. Author's Theme by Christopher Cross. Oh, Kelly. Author, yeah. Very old school movie. Can't get that beer with fancy artwork out of my mind. Oh, which one are you referring to? CRH. Which one are you referring to? Looks like the spot from The Fisher King. David, someplace in the rock, there's a middle spike from the original 1811 grade. It's somewhere around this section of Central Park. I haven't found it yet. However, my friend Action Kid on YouTube has, and I think he did a video of it. I think he also doesn't reveal the spot. Are you going for dinner tonight? Maybe, Cynthia, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, maybe. What's that tall building? So right here, this is all Billionaires Row. This is the skinniest skyscraper ever built. Right here. I always get the names a little bit mixed up, but I think this might be Central Park Tower. Anyone feel free to correct me. Central Park Tower. Which one's this one? It's the curved one. I forgot the name. And there's a few others. And there's 432 Park Avenue. I see you're wearing a sweater. Yes, it is chilly. It is chilly. What's the dinner for? What's for dinner today? Well, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe we'll grab dinner. Or not. Have you done these videos on Liberty Island? Yes, I have, Shelly, but not on YouTube. You have to go to Facebook for that. Maybe I'll return on YouTube to do a video. You could do a tour of those slender buildings on YouTube. Yeah, there's a few YouTubers who cover very high-end real estate. Eric Conover is one on YouTube. Yeah. Maybe I'll go myself. I gotta reach out to the buildings one of these days. See you tomorrow, sunshine. Oh, Nicole, thank you so much for tuning in. And the sun is setting. Goodbye. And right there is the building featuring Cloverfield. One of the buildings crashed into another. The main character had to go, and the three main characters had to go up to save the girlfriend of one of the main characters who was stuck on the building that was collapsed on the other one. And then the movie ends around here. I won't spoil it for anyone, but check it out. Ooh, Audio Slave. That is a very good suggestion. I love Radiohead's kind of more orchestral, ambient sounding music. Exit music for a film is really, really good song. Amazingly expensive, says Carl. Yes, very expensive. $58 million was one of the apartments in the Kirby one. If anyone can let me know the name of this one. $58 million. Bought by Michael Dell. Is the U? Ooh, I'm not sure if the U skyscraper is actually going to be built, Seth. So Seth asks, is the U-shaped skyscraper going up yet? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be built, as far as I know. It kind of sounds terrifying, to be honest. Susan, do I listen to classical music? Oh, yes. I mostly listen to classical music nowadays. It's a lot of classical music. Stephanie says 157. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I think it's 157. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, so classical music, I love it. I was actually watching yesterday. Oh, someone's walking a cat. Whoa. Let me zoom in on this. Someone's actually walking a cat. What? How is he doing that? Has anyone seen this before? I've seen it like once before. Someone asked me if you can bike through the Central Park Mall. Great question. I don't think so. No. Only in New York, says CRH. Yeah, only in New York. Cynthia, you also seen cats being walked? Which cat? I see two. Sam. The cat has no self-respect. Only, oh my God, my in-laws took their cats camping with them. Oh, Leanne, that is really another level. There's a guy who walks with a cat on his head. Oh yeah, I've heard of him. I've never seen him in person. And look, listen. Andrew, black cats remind you of horror movies. Yeah, they're associated with a lot of superstitions all around the world, not just in the U.S., in Europe, also in Japan and other places. And yeah, we're hearing the birds chirp very loudly today. And someone asked, are we close to the Woolham skate rink? Yes, we are. I'll show it to you. I'll point it out. The bats and rats come out at dusk. Yeah, they do. And in the summertime, there should be bats. I haven't seen them in quite a while. But at certain points, living here in New York City, I've seen bats in Central Park. Shelly, do I live in Manhattan? No, I don't. I live right outside New York City. Glad we saw that. Indeed. If I missed any questions, feel free to ask them again. And we have another amazing view of New York City.
On the footage. No, I want to compare.
Gwen says black cats are awesome, so sad they're associated with horror movies, says Gwen. Yeah, indeed. And I saw Yoko Ono in the Rambles 2 years ago. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be shocked that she takes walks here. Maybe even Sean as well. Those who have never been to New York City don't realize how big Central Park is. We don't. It's gigantic, 845 acres. And we're just walking through one tiny little corner, and we're really taking our sweet time walking through this tiny little corner. It's already been an hour. Vinayak, hey. Vinayak, what camera do I use? I use the iPhone 11 Pro Max to the extreme, super duper, 100% Wonder Cam. I love how ridiculous my iPhone name sounds. Do not go into the Ramble this time. I think you'll be okay, John. I think once it gets dark, yeah, it starts getting a little bit scary. Action Kid, my friend, has a great video about the Ramble at night, which I would not recommend for anyone. But Action Kid is very daring like that, so check out that video. But look at this little cove. Should we check it out? Let's check it out. The Ramble is the densest part of Central Park, right after Bethesda Terrace. So where we began, if you go further up north, that's the Ramble. The Ramble is most similar to going to a wild trail in the Adirondacks. When I was there in 2006, I wandered around for yours looking for the statue of the dog Balto. I finally found it. Oh, so glad. John Lennon plaque on the ground. It's in close to where we started as well. That's in 72nd Street. So we're close to the southern end right now. Look at the city reflection in the water. Oh yeah. Wow. How many days to cover the whole Central Park? I mean, you could do it like in an 8-hour walk. I think 4 hours would probably be if you were go New York speed walking, like I do sometimes on my tours. But it's a bit hard. Kay is catching up over breakfast. Good night, Kay. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm glad you're enjoying the extra videos on breakfast time. Are you scared of teenagers right there so you don't go this way, or no? Back this way, I was thinking why. I said, no, not really. There's not that much to walk down that way. It's already getting pretty dark, so there's not that much this way. No, it's not influenced by the teenagers. So we see the water. You see this water flowing out? It's not a stream. It's actually connected to the water system. I was very worried about Action Kid in the Rambles video, says Paul. What time is it for me? I don't know. If anyone can let me know the time in New York. I have my other phone in my bag, so can't reach it right now. Don, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate that. 6:31. Thank you so much. 6:31, everyone. 6:31 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, wow. Yes. So cool. Funny how people don't wear watches. No, I'm tempted to get one. Not to read time, just to look cool. It's migrating. Yeah, over 230 species of birds pass through Central Park every single year. Those are bats. I couldn't tell. Some of them were definitely birds, but I couldn't tell. Let me know if some of them were bats. Bats or starlings. Definitely some of them were birds, though there was two distinct groups of them. So maybe the other ones were bats. Looks like starlings. Yeah, I think there were starlings. That's why they might look like bats on the camera. Here's a duck. 3 or 4 hours to walk to Central Park. Yeah, if you walk it fast, you can walk the perimeter of Central Park pretty fast. But to really embrace everything, you might take 5-6 hours or more. Very poignant show. Lake is loaded with turtles. Yeah, it is. Here's one. We have an orange one. Let me know which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is the orange one. There are rats in the water. I didn't even know that rats could swim. Thank you for letting us know, Max. Persevere. You watched Love Life on HBO Max. It was a great recommendation. Very awesome show. Very poignant. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed my recommendation for Love Life. Such a great show. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I love turtles. Me too. Michelangelo. Michelangelo is the red one. No, yeah, you're right. Michelangelo. It's Michelangelo. Yeah, Raphael's the red one. That turtle's old. It's big. Look at this. It's fishing allowed. I've seen people fish here before. I would not recommend it. There's a few fish in this particular body of water. They're like very long and yellowish. Donatello, I think, is purple. Maybe, Janice? Are there still rowboats in the park? Not in this body of water. And currently the rowboats in front of Bethesda terrace is closed. And now where is, what's the name of the rat mentor in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Can squirrels swim? Oh, I don't know. It seems like a European bridge. It really does. Phil, I might broadcast every day. Maybe. Though I do live videos. The scheduled ones are every Saturday and Wednesday. I won't guarantee that I'm going every day, but maybe. Are you guys enjoying more often live videos? Let me know. And 6:34 p.m. Yes, indeed. Master Shifu says, his Splinter, Master Splinter. Shifu might have been another character, and Master Splinter, yeah, the rat. Master Splinter. We haven't seen Master Splinter yet, so we've seen nearly all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we haven't seen Master Splinter. As I mentioned, I kind of don't have that much history more to cover. So if you're enjoying more of these wanderings, kind of this free-flowing live videos, let me know. Ooh, these ducks are very unique color. CRH, that's funny. Yes, loved the DJ set last week, says Leanne. So a big thanks to these supporters, contributors, new supporters. Also, Laureen is another one. Just recently became a supporter. And a huge thanks to Matis. I might be mispronouncing your name, so please forgive me. Feel free to correct me. But Matis recently gave a very generous donation. I mean, very generous. So thank you so much, Matis, if you're watching. I really appreciate you supporting this show and your very generous donation, contribution. Looks like mallard decks. I think they are. Enjoy your video on John Lennon this week, says Elazar. I'm so glad you did. And did you try to walk from 59th to 110th? Yeah, I've done similar walks before. I did it one about like 2 weeks ago. Almost that same distance. I love the Mandarin duck. I wish we could see the Mandarin duck. He's not here. I'm not sure what happened to him. Is there free public Wi-Fi in certain spots? I don't know off the top of my head, but you can search on the Central Park site, which is centralpark.nyc, and you'll see a few Wi-Fi hotspots in the park. There's a little pathway here. Oh, and there's a little platform. John, you like crispy duck? Oh, well, me too. Me too. Mandarin duck, I used to have sunglasses with that name, says Happy Jack. Interesting sunglasses name. There's people taking a painting class. Let's zoom in. No. Look at that. Beautiful paintings. What is the building with the yellow top? Great question. I don't know which one is that one specifically. Lady Gaga used to live, I think, in this one. I think she still does live in this one. But I don't know which one's that one. Let me know if anyone knows that building. Still a lot of people hanging out. Yeah, a lot more people are out and about. It's very good weather to be out and about. It's Splinter in the old Ninja Turtles and Shifu in the newer animations. Oh, Samir, that's why people said Shifu. Oh, I wonder why they changed the name. How beautiful. Yes, I love your videos and all urban exploration, says Azraelina. Oh, I'm so glad you do. I just Googled, and you're right, it's Master Splinter. I love these videos. Bodhi says yes to more videos. Shifu is in Kung Fu Panda. I think so. I just messaged you on Patreon about painting. Wow. Oh, Stephanie. Okay, I can't wait to read it. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Zach says, you're so cool. Well, I'm glad I am. I'm feeling cool. It is good weather. But if you mean the concept of being cool, cool. Glad you enjoy it. Plaza Hotel. Yes, we are at the Plaza Hotel. Trump Tower. Yes, we're close to Trump Tower as well. Yes, we're close to the Plaza. There's a few a few squirrels eating very aggressively things from the tree, and they're dropping all around. So let me get away from the trees. I think Gaga lives with her parents there. Oh yeah, Sharon, thank you so much for letting us know. Yeah. And if I mispronounce any of your names, always feel free to correct me. I know there's different pronunciations for names like Sharon. Sometimes it's Sharon or Sharon. $200 watching. Let's have 100 likes, guys, says Julio. Julio, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for getting everyone to like. Did your father retire as an executive producer? No, he's just taking a vacation. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe you'll see another car tour soon. Okay, everyone, gotta take another water break. All right, another water break. Enjoying these beautiful views of Central Park. I hope you are. Let me know if you want to see anything in this area. And yeah. Ooh, all right. I actually had a water company reach out to me to sponsor my TikTok videos, but they wanted to pay too little. Not really worth it. But I was very honored to finally be reached out by a water company. That was very nice. Carl, thoroughly enjoying the tour. I'm so glad you are, Carl. Glad you are. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, know your worth, says Persevere. Yes, indeed I do. And that is a good piece of advice for everyone. Know your worth. Was this area busy a year ago? Oh, yes. We're getting to an area of Central Park where it was super crowded at this time of day. Yeah. This is a very touristy area at night, during the day and night. During the day, you also have more people working in offices. So you don't have any of those, basically. And that's why it's much emptier. I can't go into the lobby of the Plaza. It is closed. They'll probably kick me out. Though I've shown it before. So go on Facebook and search Urbanist Plaza Hotel or Urbanist Christmas, and you'll see it. I've done videos inside the Plaza. But right now, because of COVID, they probably won't let me in. Well, grab me a hot dog, says Sharon. Home Alone vibes, yeah. Why are we doing some haunted history? Oh, yes, I will. Very soon. You're going to see haunted history late September, all throughout October. Here is a statue to William Sherman. William Tecumseh Sherman. He's a very controversial figure, actually. Surprised this is not kind of heavily guarded. I assume because he was on the other side of the Civil War. Do I like it that it's less noisy? I do like it, I have to admit. I do realize that New York City does depend on tourists, and I assume some people really do want to go back to work in their offices, and I do, acknowledge that. But from my perspective as someone who enjoys walking around the city, it is nice that it is quieter than usual. So William T. Sherman, you'll see him depicted. You'll see him depicted on Gone with the Wind. Not directly, but he was kind of a looming figure in that film. Sherman was on the Union side. Yes, he was. nice music. And unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately I lost my monetization potentially. It sucks when there's roving music on the side. You can't control it though. And they sometimes take a while to drive away. What's the finish on the brass? I don't know. And unfortunately, we do bump into those type of music in the videos, and sometimes these videos can't be monetized on YouTube. So again, I appreciate everyone who contributes, because YouTube says no money for you. And, and well, I want to preserve the spontaneity of these live videos, so that ends up happening. Here is the Plaza Hotel. Right there on the very top is the grand penthouse apartment of Tommy Hilfiger himself, the man who built a global clothing brand. You can check out that video online on YouTube. There's an amazing tour of his place. And he has Eloise themed turret room. And look at the sunset there in the distance. We'll take a closer look. B says, so sorry your Hoboken got deleted for copyright. Luckily YouTube gave me the option to to trim the video, so it's back up. So thank you YouTube for providing that feature. Though that feature is not always available, and sometimes my videos just stay demonetized. So yeah, it's back up. You can see the replay of Hoboken. Plaza Ballroom is amazing. Oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. I can't get over how quiet things are. Oh yes they are. Oh, Tommy sold his apartment. Oh, Susan, thank you for letting us know. I didn't realize that he sold his apartment. I wonder where he moved to. Glad they let you do that. That was a nice tour, says Nicole. Best food court. Oh, yes, indeed. Unfortunately, I think it is closed because of the pandemic. But this is also featured in my John Lennon video. So if you want to learn more about John Lennon's New York, go to my previous videos. I read that Jeff Bezos could give every employee $100,000 and still remain rich. Yeah, indeed he could. Indeed he could. This is such a treat. Thank you, Ariel. The hotel is closed. Yeah, is it closed? I think it's maybe partly. Though there's a section of the plaza which are permanent residents. Like I mentioned earlier, Tommy Hilfiger used to live here. My sister, why is American visa so difficult? Says Azu. I don't know. I hope it gets a bit easier. Depends where you're coming from, unfortunately. Can you do a tour of Billy Joel's New York City? I don't know too much about Billy Joel. Did he used to hang out a lot in New York City? Let me know. Maybe. If there's a few places, maybe. Geez, I got things to do, says Dawn, but I can't leave my computer and this tour. Dawn, I don't want to keep you from what you have to do, but I am honored by that compliment. Yeah, I hope you end up finding time for the things you have to do. Here's the Paris Theater. It's owned by Netflix now, but unfortunately it's closed. So sad to see a theater closed. I believe Billy Joel has the record for the most performances in the studio. Oh, I didn't realize that. That's kind of cool. I miss movie theaters. Who else misses movie theaters? Let me know. Sadly, they tore down the Vanderbilt mansion to build Bergdorf's. Yeah, they did, David. They did. Hello from Cobble Hill. We really enjoy your video, says Blake Lee. Blake Lee. Thank you so much for watching. I miss live theaters. Me too. Watching you is the best excuse to not do laundry, says Jackie. Oh, I'm glad that's the case. Sad all these employees are out of work. Me too. I'm sad that they are. FAO Schwartz is closed. Here, yes, but they are now in Rockefeller Center. And I think they reopened since the pandemic. All right. I'm working from home and watching your videos, multitasking at its finest. Yes, I miss movie theaters for sure. And is that one Vanderbilt ahead? No, not yet. No. One Vanderbilt is at 34th Street. 42nd Street, I mean. So we're pretty far away from it. Let's all send positive energy for the people working on the vaccine. Indeed. Also, just send positive energy for anyone who's trying to help during these times in the medical field, regardless of what they're doing. Window shopping. Indeed, we are window shopping. You missed the old General Motors. The old FAO Schwartz. They're canceling the Thanksgiving Day Parade. They are. The one Vanderbilt building is supposed to have an observation deck. It is, and you might see it. Might see it on Urbanist if I'm here in New York City. There's a lot more traffic now than when I came here last week. It was one Vanderbilt. Oh, Stephanie, so we saw it from the distance. Oh, I'm glad. All right, let's take the bus, everyone. Who wants to take the bus? Let's see. Let's do it. Let's have some fun on the bus. If it's not too full. Let's see if it's not too full. Who wants to take the bus? Let me know in the comments. If it can't be the ferry, the bus will have to do. Indeed. We're pretty far away from the ferry. Let's see. Jose, I don't know. Well, I'm just aimlessly taking a bus. Does it stop here? No, it doesn't. This one does not stop here. Oh, almost none of them stop in this one. But this one does. Is it coming? Let's see. No, this one doesn't stop either. Wow, barely any buses stop in this particular place. Okay, false alarm. Is it still free? No, now they're charging. So you do need your Metro card. Lynn says, what the hell? What happened, Lynn? And Friday Express. I hope to be visiting Rockaway and taking the ferry back Wednesday. Oh, cool, B. Griffin. I hope you enjoy Rockaway. And actually, let's walk. Which way should we walk? It's 57th Street. New York City's breathtaking. I agree. So amazingly breathtaking. All right. Subway was pretty full today. It was. Yeah, I've noticed the subway has been getting more and more full, which has been interesting. Okay, excuse me. I gotta take a. I got something stuck in my throat. I gotta take a water break. Oh. Tiffany Blue, yes. Tiffany Blue, that's the Tiffany store right over there. And we just been here. On Facebook, I showed this about like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so seems like yesterday. It does. It was already 2 weeks ago. So I'll show you a little bit more of 57th Street. I hope you enjoy it. And let me know if you have any last remaining questions. I'm staying live for about 5 more minutes. And what sweater am I using? I'm using a Carnegie. I forgot the company, but it's a Dutch company. It's a Dutch Carnegie. So I'm staying live for about 10 more minutes. No dinner. This area, to be honest, kind of sucks for food. It sucks for food. I usually don't eat nowhere near this area. And it's sometimes hard to find a nice, peaceful restaurant. So unfortunately not. But stay tuned. Tomorrow you will be seeing more of New Jersey. And you will be seeing some food in New Jersey. We're going to see some food. Zolst. I don't answer too many personal questions, but feel free to ask me anything else about city, New York City, travel, or food. Always happy. And yeah, there's zebras. Midtown, yeah, Midtown is not the best for food. It's not the best. There's a few hot spots, but like the Plaza Hotel has a nice food court where they have nice pastries. But when it comes to food, not too much. Look up Papillion. Are you willing to check out 425 Park? There's nothing much to see there. I wish I could go up. Maybe one day I can go up. Have I been to Turkey? Yes, I've been to Istanbul and absolutely loved it. But that was before I made videos. It was actually at the time where I started experimenting with Snapchat, so I started telling short stories about travel. But I can't wait to go back and do videos in Istanbul. Don Antonio is really gold. It is. I wish they had outdoor seating. I actually haven't been yet, but I did interview the guys who run Keste. You come to Kurdistan. Maybe. I really do want to explore more of the Middle East. I don't know if I can do live videos there. That's the only reason why I'm having thought of going yet. I'm not sure how safe it is to do a live video. But maybe. Hopefully one day I can go and it gets a little bit, more calmer as American taking a live video. Here's Nobu. This is packed to the brim. So Nobu is one of the most expensive restaurants in New York City for sushi. And it's a world famous sushi chef. And the restaurant expanded due to Robert De Niro. Best hotel to stay. I don't have personal experience with hotels because I haven't stayed in hotels here in New York City. But from the hotels I've covered, I've done a few videos when about like the second year I did Urbanist. I really enjoyed the West House, which is right nearby. So highly recommend going to the West House. Whoa, look at that. Oh my God, so Billionaires Row, we're here at 57th Street. The Plaza is pretty, oh yes it is. Not the Holiday Inn. So check out the West House. Another favorite hotel I've covered is the Highline Hotel. Gorgeous hotel, gorgeous. Right by the Highline, as in per the name. And then I would recommend, where would I recommend? I would recommend also the Walker Hotel. Really beautiful hotel in Greenwich Village. So I would recommend those hotels. I like the mask, nice shade of green. Oh, I'm glad you like the mask. It's actually blue. It might appear a little bit green because of the video. But it's blue. It matches with my cardigan. Whoa. The West House. Yes, West House, Highline Hotel, and the Walker Hotel. Those are my top 3 recommendations from stuff I've covered before. I haven't been there as a guest, but I've done videos there. Really enjoy them. And I know the people there, and they're really awesome owners, very very warm. Highly recommend it. And wow, the orange smoke tower in the middle of the street. Yes, you'll see a lot of them around. Have you been to YouTube in Chelsea? Yeah, I did a wandering in Chelsea about like 2 weeks ago as well. Persevere. Wow, beautiful. So here we get a different perspective of the world's skinniest tower. Amy, you're gonna try some kava tea this weekend per your suggestion. Never heard of it before you showcased it the other day. And walking down to Rockefeller. Jose, as I mentioned before, don't try to figure out exactly where I'm walking. Just enjoy the ambiance. That's my personal recommendation when checking out these videos. You want to see precise directions, either watch my edited videos or check out my friend Action Kid. He provides precise directions and maps of where he's walking. So you can get the best of both worlds. Have I ever gone to Moscow? No, not yet. Maybe one day. Have you tried Xi'an Foods? I have. And someone has said, have I met Mikey Chen? And Persevere says, have I heard of him? I've heard of him. I love his videos. Actually, watching his videos gave me more confidence to do food on live video. So the reason you've seen these tours of Carroll Gardens and recently Hoboken is because I've been inspired by Mikey Chen's kind of longer form food videos where he just kind of shoots the entire time he's in the restaurant. His food videos are like 20, 30 minutes long. They're edited, but they're pretty long. So, yeah. Ash, every Wednesdays and Saturdays is my scheduled ones at 1 p.m. Otherwise, I go randomly at other times. So I can't guarantee if it's daily, but they happen every so often. And 6.5 Avenue, yes. Is it here? No, here's 142 West 57th. Look at this. Nicholas, you really liked my channel. Oh, so glad you do. So if you really enjoy this, thanks to everyone who's donated via PayPal. Keeps the show running despite maybe music issues on YouTube, and keeps the spontaneous and free-flowing nature of these certain videos. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I am calling it adieu, but I'll call it adieu right in front of probably one of the most beautiful theaters in all of New York City, Carnegie Hall. I am hungry, so I will be having some type of dinner. But stay tuned, yeah, I will be featuring more food in this week. So let me know, show you a little bit more Carnegie Hall for our final like 2 minutes. But let me know, do you guys like food videos? Do you like the food live sit-down chats? I could do more, definitely, because I love food. So if you like those food sit-down chats, yeah, I could do them also in separate videos. They're all individual videos. So let me know if you like them as well. And I have a good question for all of you. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? How do you get here to Carnegie Hall? Let me know in the comments. How do I get to Carnegie Hall? Let me know before we go. I'm indifferent to food exclusive videos as B. Our train, says Jose. That's one way to get to Carnegie Hall, but how do you really get to Carnegie Hall? Jackie and a few others, Gwen and Seth and Canyon and Stephanie all got it right. Practice, practice, practice. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall, everyone. Hell yes. So, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you to all the super chatters, star senders, patrons, supporters, and PayPalers. I'm Ariel with Urbanist. And stay tuned. Tomorrow, we will be back to the homeland of the boss himself, Bruce Springsteen, to explore more of New Jersey. So stay tuned for that, 1 p.m. Have a great day, everyone. Keep being awesome, and always keep on exploring. And there's a Slovakia GR here. Ooh, cool. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.